And where do you like to play from long?
Depending on if the team's really good, if they're strong, I'm not brave enough. Like normally, I'll pick here in the beginning. I'll stay here because I normally use an op.
All right.
And then as soon as they think
that.
if they start pushing out, then I'll usually fall back.
All right. Okay, so first things first is
if they're
starting to push you long,
nerds will come.
Usually what they'll do is they'll start flashbanging you. You can usually tell when players are lower rank too, it's because you'll have a very early flashbang, something that comes out from here. As soon as you hear that first or second one go off like that, you already know that they're incoming.
Right.
So usually what people will do long is they'll rush 2 or 3 people. All you gotta do is wait until the second flash goes off. You'll hear the first one pop, and then you just duck in like this. As soon as the second one pops, that's when you pop out. Usually they'll hit right here. So you'll be covered if you're in here. You don't want to be out too far because you're going to get flashbanged all day long. I'll show you. Stay right where you are. Normal flashbangs will come over like this. So if you're standing in your regular spot, you're going to get flashed. But if you're hugging this wall,
hard.
you won't be.
Do it again, I'll hug the wall.
You got it.
Flashbang.
Oh, that's a bad flash.
Going flashbang.
Yep.
Golden.
I was able to I had time, I could see it coming and dodge it too if I was peeking it too.
Alright. Another cool little trick that I like to do is if I'm ever playing long and I know that they're going to rush, throw a flashbang behind you. A lot of people don't use this, but the way a flashbang works is back in 1.6 in Source, if a flashbang was anywhere near you, like if the flashbang seen you, you'd be flashed no matter what. It's not the same thing in Counter-Strike. If you throw a flashbang straight up into the air, you just look straight, and it'll blind you for like half a second, but you can still see. Same thing works with this. If a flashbang comes out, and a flashbang lands right about here, you don't have to do a 180 turn around. All you have to do is just turn so it's just out of view sight. Here, watch.
Deploying flashbang.
Just like that, right? There's no need to turn all the way around, because then your crosshair placement's gonna get all messed up. So if you see a flashbang coming over at you, just put it outside of your view, and you can still see. So, in regards to that, if you're fighting somebody long, flashbangs come over and you see them start coming in, chuck a flashbang behind you right there. Pop out. They'll be flashed, but you won't be. Go over there for me, Iceman. I'll put it into perspective. So I want you to throw a flashbang out like you're gonna come out.
Shoot, I don't have one.
You should have infinite ammo. Here.
I didn't buy one. I got one now. Oh god, where am I? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, right there. Here.
Okay, so I was rushing it. You want me to do it as if I'm rushing it?
Yeah, as you're rushing it, go ahead.
Throwing flashbang.
Move the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
Deploying flashbang.
Nope, didn't flash me. Damn, what the hell is that?
You weren't rushing it though.
Oh, so, okay, I see. Alright, let's try this
Yeah.
again. So I'm rushing out the doors.
Deploying flashbang.
If you build it,
Flashbang.
nerds will come.
Oh yeah, I'm blind. And dead.
Okay. Yeah, I hit you a few times. Anywho, that's another good one. If you ever get into a bad situation where that misses or they hit you, this flashbang works really well too. You want to bounce it off of this. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll run and throw it. You don't want to do that. That's exactly how you want to do it. You just want to toss
Oh, I've been tossing it so it goes further. Oop.
No, the reason being, flashbangs, you want to surprise people. You want to pop flash. Go stand right here. Do you know what a pop flash is? Actually, we'll go over it so the viewers know. Basically, if you give your opponent enough time to look away from a flash like this, they can look away from it in time, and Iceman didn't do it, but...
Oh, sorry. Give me 2 seconds.
So
1 second. Hey guys, no trading here. Okay, good to go. Sorry.
Alright. So, if you give your enemy too much time, such as that, they can look away from it in time and still kill you.
He
What
doesn't
a
know I
pop
didn't,
flash
but,
is,
yeah.
basically you give them absolutely no time to look away. It looks like this.
Throwing flashbang.
Oh yeah, so it pops basically as soon as they see it, so they have no chance.
Exactly. So go over here. So what you're doing is something that looks like this. Gives them an hour to look away.
Gotcha.
But what you want to do is something like this.
If you build it, nerds will come.
Kind of look the same.
Well, the one ends up right about here. Because I actually have the trajectory on, so you can see where it detonates. So
Oh, I can't
basically,
see
the farther away
trajectory. How do you
are,
turn
the
that
better.
off? Or turn that on?
I don't think you. I think you. If you're only running the server, that's the only reason that you can see it. I don't think you'll be able to.
Gotcha, okay.
It's unfortunate. Alright, Alice. Counter flash. So I taught you the smoke
Okay,
when
G.
you're rushing long. You basically throw it against these windows, right?
Laying down smoke.
There you go. Very nice.
Okay.
It actually works counterintuitive too. So say if a guy keeps opping you long, you can do the reverse.
Throwing smoke.
I can see there actually.
Do it again.
Yeah, one sec here. Just gotta wait for the smoke to dissipate. There we go.
Smoke.
So hit right there, right?
Yep, and that gives you enough time to clear this. You can pop it. It's also even better if you go right here.
Where'd
Nobody
you
ever
hit it?
expects
The
you.
lower window?
No, you don't want to hit the window. You just want to hit anywhere on this.
Anywhere right there. Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yep. Now we'll go back to long here. The best places for flashbang is through this.
Flashbang.
If there's ever anybody opping on top of platform, you can throw it right through here.
Hopping on
That'll
top of
take out the guy
plat.
on platform. Yeah, so if a guy's over here, he's opping, or if he's over here
Okay.
and opping, the best place to throw this flashbang is right through this. I'll show you how it looks. You gotta angle it, just so you're not being seen. If there's a guy on car, you just want to angle it just enough
Throwing flashbang.
and chuck it. And that'll
Okay,
get
cool.
pretty much everybody over here.
How do you smoke CT from mid, I'm getting asked?
Smoke CT for middle.
I guess we'll work our way over there. Do you want to finish up on this side and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
go
yeah.
mid and then
We'll do that.
we'll get to that. Nice,
let's
Dungeoner.
See if there's anything else here.
We're
A lot
getting
of
some
people
lessons
don't
from
use
a
this to their
Supreme.
advantage. If you ever had this smoke,
Laying down smoke.
go up on top of this little platform here. You'll actually see right above the smoke.
Oh, I
They
use
won't
this.
see you.
I love this. I use this all the
Yeah.
time. I
Now-
do.
Yeah, okay, I'll show you a little trick with Counter-Strike that is around with the smoke. The way that smoke works is that it's actually all perspective. So if you're looking at the smoke, you're going to see more of smoke than if you're not looking at the smoke. And I'll show you what I mean by this. So come right about here and look directly into CT, right? You really can't see CT. Now move your crosshair so you're actually looking over here, and the corner of your screen, you can actually see down CT. A lot of professionals actually use this to actually look through the smoke without being shot at.
Smoke.
Huh.
You
I
notice
see
any
that.
difference?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It also works a lot too if smoke's on the ground, like if it's the same level as you, like this.
Laying down smoke.
If you look straight down at the ground, same type of thing, you can actually see through it.
Holy crap.
If you go all the way to the ground, there's actually no smoke there at all. If you look far enough down, the smoke will actually disappear.
Yeah.
It's a glitch
Nothing?
with Counter-Strike, I don't know if they're going to be fixing it. Anywho.
Cool.
Okay, so worst case scenario, if somebody's coming out here and you back up, chances are you're either going to go here to car, or you're going to go over here. Say if you go to car, and they're rushing you hard, what you want to do to pop flash them, you just turn around and you bounce it off of this. You can do it with either holding the left mouse button,
Flashbang.
gives them an hour to look at it though, or if you hold both the right and the mouse button,
Deploying flashbang.
and then you pop it. With the flashbang is you want to pop out a split second after they see it, because they're going to be turned around. So it should look like something like this.
Throwing flashbang.
Oh yeah.
That's how you always want to.
Do that one more time.
Same thing with work with smoke. Sure.
Deploying flashbang.
Oh yeah. All I saw was your feet pop out and then I was gone. If I mean I wasn't even turning around, so which I would normally turn around if I saw it.
If you're playing over here, chances are they'll smoke this, but I'm
If
not
you
going to show you
build
the
it,
smoke just for you.
Nerds
You
will
want to bounce
come.
your flashbang off of this wall right here. So if they're running up and you hear them, all you got to do is just throw it
Throwing
up here,
flashbang.
and then you come out with it.
Do that one more time. I want to see how it flashes me if I'm
Sure.
running up the wall.
Okay.
Flashbang.
If I'm running up the wall. Maybe that doesn't quite get me. Right here. I'm in this
here,
cubby,
try
though.
one more time.
Flashbang.
Oh yeah, I got me. There was a difference in that.
It just hit. It hit me in the head.
Oh.
Throwing
Yeah.
flashbang.
Now another favorite one of
Throwing
mine.
flashbang.
If you're ever
Mini
taking, it actually works better. Say if they smoke it, it works even better with smoke because they don't see it for at all. So if you're here, what you do is you throw it up against the wall.
Throwing flashbang.
It'll come out, and you come out of the smoke with it.
Crap.
Now for
crap.
taking A, what a lot of people like to do is they like to hide right here.
Hey,
Nope.
I lost you.
Where are you?
Wait.
In the wall?
I don't know. Oh, whoops.
There you go.
I turned off my clip in the wall. I didn't know I did.
Now what a lot of people will do is if they're being rushed long, they'll hide here.
Okay.
Best way to counteract that is you're going to have a
Throwing
smoke here.
smoke.
You just jump from here onto this box. They won't see you. You make sure cat's clear, and then you hop up to here and just come to this side.
Okay.
Alright. So let's try it out. Let's practice it. You go down there, and you're going to want to take me out.
Smoke.
Did I get you?
Exactly how you do it.
As I fall off.
Now you'll notice whenever you play with me, if I'm ever in like a situation where I'm clearing the site first, or if I'm in like a 2v3 or 3v1, anything like that, as soon as you kill one guy, you're going to want to snap to a different direction, almost immediately. So if I'm running up here, and there's a guy right here, and I kill him right away, I'll snap to either CT spawn, or I'll snap to cat. Say if I take out a guy on cat, then I'll snap somewhere else. Because chances are there's never going to be more than one person coming from one direction, and plus you just cleared it. So say if there is, that guy's not going to pop out at the same time. So if I'm clearing site, or say if I just planted the bomb, chances are what would happen is there's 3 people, one's going to go long, one's going to go cat, and one's going to come up CT. Usually 9 times out of 10, the cat guy's going to get there first, so you just wait for him about right here, because you cleared from all the other angles. So you kill this guy, the next guy's going to be long, all you got to do is pop out left, kill this guy, and then the guy from CT is going to sneak up on you. You just come over here and you play this box.
Okay.
Never
cool.
ever get stuck looking at one direction too long. Alright, so now we pretty much covered long. We covered cat. Cat's my place that I love to play.
And this is from CT side, correct? Basically all CT
It
defending.
could go actually both ways.
Oh, yeah, I guess it
go
could,
both
yeah.
ways too, say if you planted the bomb. But,
That's true.
Anywho,
Okay.
so if I'm in CT here, I'm not playing cat. A lot of people actually make the mistake to go to cat. They run this long way around here. You'll actually get there slower. As soon as you get to about here, if they had a good spawn, the terrorist is going to be right here shooting you in the head. And a lot of people running with their knife at this point. The quickest way to take it is actually this direction. So when you're running up, from here you hop onto box, you hop up here, and do a straight shot. You just got to be careful right here, because there's a clip. You'll actually see when I'm running, I'll move a second, see? The best thing
Yep.
to do is just to hop over top of that.
And where are they?
For whatever reason,
Where am I going to be when we run into them? So if we did that fast run,
you'll be here. You'll be set up and ready for him. So
gotcha. Okay.
the main place is to play cat. You can either play up in their face right here. You can play back by this. A lot of AK players, like really good level players, will actually come out waiting for this spot. So my favorite spot is actually up here. This pole that you see actually doesn't exist. You can shoot right through this all day long. So if you play right so that way the pole is lined up with that wall, they'll never see you. And as they come around the corner such like this, they'll be either looking here or they'll be looking at this box.
God, I can't control
It'll
it.
take them out all day.
Sorry, I have an issue. I have an issue with my stupid clip.
Say if you want to play very passively, it's really easy to play cat passively. Just make sure you have a smoke. You want to bank the smoke off of this wall right here.
Throwing smoke.
Okay.
If it's early round and they haven't played you too much, because people start adapting to your playstyles, I'd start playing over here first, and I just watch this section of the wall, because you'll actually start seeing them come through this smoke first. Even if
Oh
they
yeah,
can't see
shadow.
you. Exactly. But then once the smoke starts to dissipate, you want to fall back, because this is a very common area for people to look, but not when it's smoke. Another good place to play is actually behind these, and an even better place is behind this. Once you have an op, you'll actually see me, I think I played this in the last match, I like going up here with an op.
You gotta have a quick shot to get those heads, though, because that's all you see, right?
Exactly. But at least you have the advantage over them.
Oh, shit.
They won't be looking there. Alright, we'll work on flashes now, Cat. If you ever hear them coming up, a big thing what people do is when they get flashbang, they freak out. It's actually best to just counter flashbang. So, say if you're sitting right there, go back to stairs. I want you to get into the habit of when you get flashbanged, you just throw your flashbang out. So what people will do is they'll throw their flashes here.
Flashbang.
Alright, the only problem with that is you threw it a little
Too far.
too far.
Okay.
You want to throw it kind of right in front of you, and then you want to turn around. So it should look like this. Say if I got flashbang, I'll do this. I'll right-click it, throw it, and I'll just run out. You won't be able to see anything, but you just got to get into the situational for that. So I'll flash you, and then you try. Oh, by the way, this flashbang, I'll show you guys this flashbang. If you want to take the cat, you want to flash anywhere up here. Flashbang off of that actually works very nicely. Or even higher, sorry. Right there. That'll flash anybody on cat and they actually won't see it coming. But the one flashbang I was working on you, it's right here. Not people do this one. You bounce it off of this wall.
Flashbang.
I think I do that every once in a while. I like that. I like corners.
It's a very, very good flashbang.
Show him the
But just
counter
try to get
flash.
to the habit of flashbangs landing behind you. So if I wanted to take cat, throw a flashbang here, and then just run with it behind me. Once you start doing that, you're going to go up 2 or 3 ranks instantly. Just because people can't see the flashbang and shoot you at the same time. It's just not possible. Alright, so now we can do a CT smoke. Basically, CT smoke works when you're pushing out mid or you're doing
Hang
like
on.
a mid to B rush.
Hang on just a second. I just want to catch up on chat real quick, people.
Yep, not a problem.
See you, Dungeoner. See, you get him to flash the enemies
look
at
like
the
I'm cheating,
stairs, and then you pop out to kill him.
Floating glitch.
What side are you talking, Mr. Sos? Show him the counter flash for long as a CT. He showed it. If you hit the corner of the flash on the cat, it even flashes the guy behind the stairs on cat. Behind the stairs. So you're talking about the one that he's talking about. This one right here? Oh god. This one you're talking about, bro? I'm just asking. I'm figuring out what exactly they said. Just making sure that they're clarifying it. Or clarifying it real quick.
Yeah, if anybody's got any comments,
Ask away,
tips,
Mr.
tips,
Stos.
or suggestions, or if they have any questions even, just type it in the chat. I don't have
Yeah,
chat
bro,
open,
that's a sick one.
but Isa will look and he'll let me know.
Somebody has a question. Waiting for it to get typed.
Sure.
He said if you hit the one you're showing me, this one, if you hit that correctly, it flashes everybody, even the person behind behind the stairs. Do it real quick. Let's see if it flashes me if I'm in the corner.
Sure. Depends on how hard you throw it. I'm gonna throw it as hard as I can.
Deploying flashbang.
Alright, do it one more time. That got me peeking. Let me see if I can, if say I was really super good and was hiding behind the
Deploying
wall.
flashbang.
Yeah, it got me a little bit. It's good at my hearing at least for a
Land right
second.
here.
Gotcha. Okay, so like if I solo queue but I want to help them flash in or get them to flash me, how do I do that?
If you solo queue, it's very, very, very difficult. Matchmaking is quite fun, especially with people, like friends and such, but if you're ever solo queuing, 9 times out of 10, you're just going into it covering your own ass, just because a lot of people, they either don't play with teams, or they're not having fun with you. But if you use a microphone, and you ask them to work with you, usually that works the best, but I mean, really, it's kind of shooting fish in a barrel. You might get lucky, you might get a really good team, or sometimes you just get people that are just goofing off and they'll start flashbanging you. But 9 times out of 10, I just try and cover my own ass.
Let's see. You should ask him to show the box smoke and the Pro CT smoke on long for CT. Those would be good to see.
Oh, he's talking about this huge long one. I usually don't do the smoke just because by the time you actually fight and get all the way down there, it doesn't really work to your advantage. But if I remember correctly, it has something to do with...
Laying down smoke.
See if that's correct or not. No, that's the... What he's basically talking about is you throw a smoke against one of these walls, can't remember which one it is, and it lands right here.
Oh, that's the one that, hang on, I know that one.
I'll show you the pros and cons about that one. That's it, yep. Alright. So there's actually more disadvantages to this than there is advantages. The only advantage you have for this is if somebody's mid peeking you with an op, they won't be able to because it's one smoke and it covers all of
Gotcha.
CT. The downside of that is you're wasting a smoke, and that's just to keep people out of mid, because you're going to have a guy here, you're going to have a guy here, you can even have a guy over here at elevator. And all three of them can see everybody cross. It's much more effective to use this smoke, because that covers even Cat. Cat can't see you, none of Ramp can see you. 9 times out of 10 though, you're going to have a little bit of a sliver. So you just got to make sure you pay attention to that. All you got to do is one person jumps, then you'll hear the shot, and that's when the rest of the team goes. A lot of people will go one at a time, which is a mistake. You want to try to bait out that first shot.
Okay.
Alright, so...
So
we'll
it's,
do
it's
the
a cool
mid
smoke,
now.
but it's not quite the,
Yeah, it's a cool smoke, but just not effective. A lot of smokes now, like I've seen an absolute shit ton of smokes and flashbangs in really weird spots, but it's just not efficient, we'll say. Like, they look cool, but it just really doesn't help you out. So anyway, this smoke is the one that you were asking actually in-game. And this lands right here for you. And this is when you want to rush up mid to B.
Where'd you throw that again?
There, I'll show you. So what you want to
Oh,
do is
shoot.
you want to hug this box here. You can actually do it from up top of Cat, but the problem is when you're up top of Cat, you can get shot from mid. So the best thing to do is to crouch down here, back out just a little bit so you can actually see this windowsill up here. So what you want to do is when you throw your smoke grenade, just hit it right about here, the top left of the window. You might have
so
to
you
back
want the
out a little
smoke
bit.
to hit that, or you want my nade to actually hit that, so I go above it?
Just throw right there.
Smoke.
There you go. And
Cool.
then smoke that. Now, a lot of people, what I was mentioning before, when you're a team, for some reason, they'll have all 5 guys come out this way. That's not what you want. You want 4 or even 3 people to come out this way, and then the other 2 go the other way in B. So that way you're going to have, best case scenario, they're playing 2-1-2. That means you're going to have one guy here, usually an opper. Then you'll have 2 guys in the site. One guy will play actually in the site, another guy will either play up here, or he'll be back a platform. So what happens is this smoke will go off, and the CTs will shit a fully decorated Christmas tree, basically. They'll be like, holy shit, they smoked it. Sometimes a couple of flashbangs come over too. What will happen is this guy will play up close here, or he'll try to run back to this window, but he won't have enough time and you'll kill him. The guy who plays in sight will almost always jump window to peek it, and then this guy will either hug car, or he'll push into tunnels. So if you have 3 guys coming out mid, the 2 guys that are actually waiting here can get 2 easy kills. They'll take this guy out if he's rushing in here, or they'll hit the window guy first, and then they'll move and take this car guy out. Counter-Strike's a big meta game, so if you
I'll ask
understand what
questions
the
here
other
in a
team's going
second,
to do
guys.
before they even do it, then you're laughing. That's half the battle. The reason why they'll move here and over here is because they don't expect anybody to be rushing out B tunnels. So they're getting into positions right here, watching over for window and watching door. And then when you start coming out this way, it's good night, it's game over. Alright, so now we're going to move into taking B. If you lose B, usually it's a pretty hard retake, but there's actually a couple
That is hard.
flashes that'll help you. So what my favorite flashbang is this one right off of here. So if you're inside of sight, it's your own pop flashbang. So you run and you throw the flashbang off of this, it goes up and over the wall, and it
Well, okay,
flashes
where'd you shoot that? Where'd you hit that? Right there?
Right here, this corner, yeah. It'll take some time getting used to.
Flashbang.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're releasing it too early.
Flashbang.
There, you got it a little late. but you gotta have a running speed.
Flashbang. Deploying
You
flashbang.
want...
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Here, I'll show you again. You basically want to release it when your crosshair hits about here. Right, so it's a full run, and then you release the crosshair right there, and it goes up and over.
Flashbang.
A little late.
Throwing flashbang.
There you go.
Hey!
Now come
How did I
inside.
just do that?
Flashbang.
Oh god.
The good thing about that flashbang is you'll flash the guy here, you'll flash the guy on platform, you'll flash the guy anywhere inside the site, you'll flash the
Look
guy
at
in
that.
car. Play any one of those sites and I'll show you. And you're good.
Good to go.
Deploying flashbang.
You don't need a flashbang. He owns me anyways,
And
but...
one more time.
Throwing flashbang.
Oh, that one didn't make it over.
Flashbang.
Ha, I pulled a U.
Throwing flashbang.
And here, I'll show you another good one too. Yeah?
It's a good flash. Hard one to do. You gotta be really confident in
This
that
one over on
flash.
window. Yeah. Well, it takes you a little bit of time. I can't tell you how many times I've messed up.
Cool. Got that one.
Flashbang.
There you go. You basically want to throw it so it hits the absolute top part. Yeah, right there actually won't flash him because you'll see
Deploying
it'll hit the
flashbang.
top of this here.
Oh, yeah.
Here, I'll show you where you're hitting. Yeah, so what you're doing is you're releasing it a little too early. So it'll look like this when you release it.
Deploying flashbang.
See how it hits the
Oh,
top of it?
didn't
actually,
even
that
hit.
made it over, didn't it?
Perfectly cleared. That was a good one.
I'm actually trying to screw this up. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah.
Throwing flashbang.
I can't actually screw it up. I'm trying to screw it up, but I can't.
Deploying flashbang.
You just screwed up really bad or not bad?
Throwing flashbang.
Yeah. I don't know how you're doing that. That's quite amazing.
Deploying flashbang.
Well, anywho.
Throwing flashbang.
That's kind of a good one.
Alright, so yeah, that's not a bad one at all. Another good one is you throw it against this wall right here. You just take a nice little run at it,
Flashbang.
toss it up and over.
Throwing flashbang.
That gets pretty much everybody inside of the site as well.
Including me. Let's try that again.
You
Flashbang.
can actually use a smoke grenade in the same spot too, and what that'll do is they'll flash out right here. Or sorry, they'll smoke out right here.
Cool. The box is smoked.
That's
He has,
actually-
she has to go
Yeah,
way
if you know a
out.
guy's on smoke, it's actually really good there. Now, to go back to those fancy smokes that I was telling you about, there's actually one right here,
I'll
You
take
line
questions here in
yourself
just a
up
second,
with
guys.
and then this big box here too.
Wait,
What
say
you
it
do is
again?
you aim over.
Sorry, I was talking. I'm bad.
This is one of those ones that a lot of people like doing, but it really doesn't help out all that much. It basically smokes out window. But you line yourself up with this little hole and this box, and then you aim over here at the very tip top of this thing. I actually can't shoot it because it's see-through, but at the very tip top and that second wire, you go up over here and then you aim just a little bit to the right.
Throwing smoke.
And what that does is,
Smoke.
that should hit window and it gets stuck. There's a little tiny ledge there. I haven't done this in ages, but
Smoke.
Huh.
Laying down smoke.
That's a tough one.
pull out of myself on live stream right there. But basically what happens with this is
Throwing
the smoke lands on this little tiny ledge right here,
Laying down smoke.
much like that.
Oh, shoot.
And it makes it difficult for the CTs to enter. But ever since the smoke update, you actually can see a lot easier. Before it used to smoke you out completely, but you can't.
Okay, so that one I guess known.
Yeah. Alright, so playing B. If anybody watches Hiko stream, a really, really popular place to play B is on top of this thing right here. This is quite a nifty looking little box. You can get all these headshots, and nobody's ever looking for you upside of here. A little difficult to get onto. Basically, there's a little tiny ledge right here that I'm standing on. You can actually come down a little bit more. Yeah. But for the most part, better places to play are right here at the barrels. If you're trying to be sneaky, stay over here by the dumpster. You actually... there we go. Can't get through there, apparently.
It's real sneaky.
Yeah. But 9 times out of 10, you always want to try and smoke this. Also, You want to make sure this smoke is as deep as possible as it can go, because I'll show you a little unknown fact with smokes.
Throwing smoke.
So I want you to stand back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of smoke running, and I'm going to start shooting at you when I see you. People running through smoke will not see you for a full second before you can see them. See how long that took? I'll take off my silencer to make it a lot easier.
Laying down smoke.
Here, don't shoot at me.
Okay.
That way you can tell exactly when I can see you. Ready? Remember, I'm going to start firing as soon as I see you.
Yeah, you have
how
like a
long that is?
full half second to a second to see him. Yeah.
Exactly. So when you smoke these tunnels over here, you want to make sure it's nice and deep, because if it's right here, when you can start seeing them, they're actually going to be coming down.
Down steps,
So they're going to be
different
changing levels on you, and you don't want that, because you want to get a nice clean headshot. So the further back you smoke that, the better. Also,
Gotcha,
too,
okay.
you always want to try to throw flashes into smoke, because they'll never see it.
Cool.
Or on the reverse side, if you're a terrorist and trying to smoke into sight, this wall is your best friend. The farther you throw a smoke or a flashbang, the closer into sight it's going to land. And the closer you throw a flashbang up here, or smoke, then the closer to here it's going to land. Put into perspective. If I want to smoke off sight and headshot box, I want to throw my smoke right about there.
Smoke.
So this will cover your ass from window. It'll also cover your ass from deep platform. So as soon as you come out, what's going to happen is the first person can either look here, or it can look up here. It really depends on the person that's playing in here. At top level play, they don't do a 2-1-2. What they do is a 1-1-3. So 3 people are playing A, 1 person's playing mid, 1 person's playing B. So what happens is the 1 person playing inside here is either going to be playing near window, or he's going to be playing on platform, and the 1 guy mid's going to be supporting him. So with this smoke,
Throwing smoke.
it pretty much covers you from all the angles. You can come in here, the guy who's playing on platform's probably freaking out. He's either going to jump over here to the back of plat, or he's going to jump over here to window where his buddy is. The favorite thing to do is, wherever you throw that smoke, you want to follow it up with a
Laying down
flashbang.
smoke. Flashbang.
Just because if you actually go out there, you'll never see that flashbang in time.
Yeah, I never saw it coming.
Deploying flashbang.
I'll ask about scenarios after Potato.
As soon as you enter site, you always want to get the smoke off here at doors, just because anybody who's playing that box out there is a threat, and also if there's an opera middle, he's a threat too. If you effectively close that smoke, the only person you got to worry about is window, because you'd just be coming out of tunnels.
Gotcha.
9 times out of 10 you should leave somebody in tunnels.
Where do you play tunnels if you're defending as a CT or a T?
Well, I say
You're
if
planted
you're
at B.
right here. Usually an opera will take it and he's looking straight down. You never want to play these corners because those steps give you an advantage. He'll be changing his elevation. So he has to really be on target to hit you in the head. Whereas you're both on the same playing field and he knows
Sure,
you're
hotshot.
somewhere here. So either here, another popular one's over here. So you always want to get the first. It's always, you want to have the one up on the guy, right? So you want to be waiting right here. You just got to be careful, nobody's coming T, but you'll kind of know that situation. Going downstairs, never go down the stairs using the stairs, always go down on this. Just because that guy will be coming up here, and he'll be looking all the way up there, you can usually get a free headshot. And then you just want to drop straight down, check this corner, and then just do a big arc. Jump up on top of here if you ever want to see anybody on cat, because you can actually see their heads. A lot easier before they can. Be known that this wall, you cannot shoot through, no matter what. The only way you can actually shoot through it is if you're at an angle such as the one I'm at now, and you shoot straight down, and that's only with the high caliber guns. That's pretty much play dust.
Huh. What about, okay.
Yeah, if there's no questions, then what we can do is
There's
we can actually
quite a
start
few
playing.
questions.
Alright, go ahead.
I'm gonna start off.
And remember, this is how I play it too. It's probably not the best way to play it, or sometimes it might be the best way to play it, but it's how I play it.
All right,
So
let's
it
start
could be
getting some
good things,
questions
could be
here,
bad.
guys. Mr. Stos, you had the first question, man. Let's get Mr. Stos' question in here first. I'm gonna get Mr. Stos to ask a question. He asked one earlier. Were flashes and smokes to retake A and B? Flashes and smokes to retake A and B. He showed those actually already. I'll be highlighting this video
Oh, actually, I did not. I did not show one good
for
one
A.
though.
Okay.
So, if you know how a guy plays, usually a guy will play in here at A, and then you'll have guys long. So if you're trying to take this site, of course you always want to worry about cap, but you can be running right into him. And then if a guy's going to be in A, a lot of people what they'll do is they'll nade site like this, which is awesome.
I do it.
But you're actually better off to smoke it. So what you can do is you can smoke it, and then you can throw a nade if you want to as well. If you want to hit insight, you throw higher at this pizza sign, I think it is. You throw nice and high. If you want to smoke, say, goose out, then you just throw it at the A. So if I want to smoke goose, throw it down lower, and then that smokes them out too. Flash is the same way. Dust is really easy because it's got a nice high skybox, so you can throw flashbangs right over top of this thing.
Throwing flashbang.
But like I said before with the pop flashes, never ever throw flashbangs like here,
Flashbang.
because you're giving them an hour, and also you're throwing really, really hot. Best case scenario is you have two people alive, one person standing all the way back here,
Flashbang.
and throws that flashbang, and then runs up. But if you actually don't have it, what you can do, you can sell flashbang, you just throw it off of this wall.
Flashbang.
And then you take
Saw
it
Harry
back.
turned around right there.
I'll
So
show
you
it
turn.
again on
So
your
you
video.
will get flash from that if you don't turn.
Just a second, just a second. But here, you try it. Just see what I mean. What I'm doing is I'm throwing the flashbang off of here, and then I just turn a little bit more to the left, and then as soon as it goes off, I turn.
Gotcha. Okay.
Flashbang.
Right? Once you get comfortable with flashbangs, it makes the game a lot easier. You just want to make sure you're throwing them nice and high.
Mr.
because
Stos,
if
you got a
flashbang
question,
lands
bro?
Right here, like you see the spot, it's not going to flash anybody except the guy right here.
Let's see.
The higher you throw that, the better.
Throwing flashbang.
Yeah, that stayed above the ledge. Let's see. Can you ask him T-spawn? Oh wait, Mr. Stos has a question. Look above arch.
Another good place to play it too is, remember how I was telling you about this one right here? If you get into trouble, so you kill one guy but they're rushing it, just fall down here. Just play against this wall. You can hit heads all day long right there. And they won't be busy with you right here. The main thing is this right here. That little lampshade that actually doesn't exist, you can shoot through that. But that's actually blocking you as soon as they come out. They won't see you, they'll be looking over here at Goose, at Sight, and then over here at Car.
Gotcha.
And by the time they look Car, it's too late. A very, very good spot to play.
Yeah, Realm will do, man. We're just showing some viewers some stuff. I'm only a
Alright, so once
MG2,
they ask
so
questions, what I
this
can do
guy
is I
offered
can
to
run through some common errors
do
people
some,
do just by playing the game. And that helps out a lot of people, they've said, so.
Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna ask. Let's see. Can I ask him from T-spawn? How do you properly throw a smoke? Wait, I lost it. Shoot. From T-spawn, how do you properly throw a smoke so that it goes behind mid double doors? From T-spawn? From T-spawn. Behind double doors? Oh, I can show you that one. Well, actually, I don't know. This one I just learned myself just by doing it. Just
Throwing smoke.
Well, yeah,
aim
there's
and
no
go
box
up.
there. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
of course that one goes over. God.
Got a hell of an arm.
Laying down smoke.
You actually smoked CT spawn with that. That one you bounced a little far.
That I
Go
bounced
a
to, of
little
course.
lower. You want to try to get it very close to it.
Smoke.
There you go. It really doesn't matter where you throw it, just because it'll hit that door and it'll smoke the entire door. The only problem with that is anybody who's actually sniping, like opping, they can get through that. I'll show you actually a really, really neat one. If you
Alright
want
guys,
to
hang
rush
on. Let me get
cat,
your questions.
or sorry, I should say if you want to delay rush cat, You get one guy go B, all of you guys go A. The B guy does this. He runs all the way down here while they're setting up long and cat. He can throw flashbangs or such here, whatever, just to distract. And then he goes down here. He lines himself up with this box. It can be very sloppy, it doesn't matter. And just put your crosshairs so it's lined up with the top of that box and you throw a smoke. Like this.
Smoke.
That'll cover your cat, so you will not get opt at all.
Now, do you know the smoke to do that from out here? I don't remember it.
You bounce it off of one of these. It's a little more difficult, just because you have so much momentum.
Yeah, I remember somebody
The only
showed.
problem is, I think it's from off of here, and you gotta bounce it off that, if I remember.
Throwing smoke.
No. Well, clearly that worked really well right there.
Oh yeah, I joined you. Yeah, I know, Pro. I know. I was just gonna try showing it.
Alright, any other
All right.
questions?
Yep. You ready for some more?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's see. Hang on, I gotta scroll up.
People, it's fun.
Is there a better smoke to? Is it better to smoke the mid doors or just in front to get some of the dark cover T side? Where do you optimally want that smoke? Do you want it just like dead on right there, or?
Well, the closer the better to this guy, because what he can do is he can hop up on these, and he can actually see the top of cat over there. So I'd say the closer the better, but if you're ever in an issue, if you throw a smoke right here, that'll cover your ass, because it's actually up this hill a little bit. So if you throw it right here,
Down smoke.
that'll cover you a lot more than the smoke down by the doors will cover you.
Huh. So you're saying this is better to smoke this right here than it is to smoke it right there?
Well, it depends on if you're going to be taking cat or not. Like, here, I'll show you. So you see how much that covered, right? Like, it's
Right.
going to about right there, whereas this
Throwing
smoke
smoke.
goes to about right there. See the difference in the levels?
Gotcha. Okay.
The only problem with this smoke is as soon as you get to about... Nah, actually, no. Never mind, that'll
Throwing
cover you.
smoke.
Best way to take out an offer, I'll show you a little trick. I really shouldn't be giving away all my secrets, but I will. I love throwing a flashbang off of this, because it flashes anybody out here. If you're standing right here, go right there. People will throw a flashbang too hard like this.
Flashbang.
What that ends up doing is it hits over here,
Yep.
and it doesn't really flash a person all that good. Best thing to do is to either stand still and throw it, or do that pop flash where you're actually running backwards and throw it.
Throwing flashbang.
That's a better one.
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
That's another thing too. If you're running full force and you throw a flashbang, you'll actually throw it a lot further than, say, standing still and throwing it. Or my favorite is when you run backwards and
Laying
throw
down
it.
smoke.
It's kind of a fadeaway shot. I know that's very,
Throwing flashbang.
very trivial.
Oh, I
stuff,
never-
but,
I
sometimes
never,
a lot of people don't know it.
Never knew that.
Oh, you
I
didn't
did
know
not know
about
that.
that?
I didn't
Oh,
know about
okay.
that.
All right, I'll show you in. There you go, exactly. So you can pop flash it. It works really well with grenades too. Say if somebody's right here, sitting beside this thing, the only way for you to actually effectively grenade him by throwing the left thing is you gotta bank the hell out of that grenade.
I still landed in
Right?
here.
Yeah, but if you do a backwards run and chuck it, then you can actually make it land on top of him.
Hell
That's
yeah.
really, really neat.
I didn't know about that one.
Throwing a grenade.
Actually, a spot you can get onto on here. I've seen a couple pros do it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try. There it is.
I've seen pros do it
Also,
too,
whenever
but
you're jumping up here, always crouch. Never jump up because you're gonna get shot in the head as soon as you do it. Try to stay crouch, and when you peek down, try and move over a little bit. Because remember, they can't shoot you.
okay, cool. All right, let's see what else.
Fire in the hose.
Let's see what else we got. We've got a few more for you.
Sure.
All right, my question is: say you're in CT, and the T's take over bomb side A. You're the player that's watching mid, but they smoke you out and got through on cat. You do not have enough time to go through long, and cat is the obvious choice. So you want to work CT. What kind of check pattern do you do for CT when coming out from under cat into connector?
Alright, well,
This is
if
like a
you're
DMG
mid-player-
rated plus game.
If they smoke you cat, actually the best thing to do as a mid player is actually push through that smoke and go cat. Just because if somebody smokes something or if somebody Molotov something, they don't expect somebody to come through that. It's kind of like they're saying, okay, this way is kind of blocked off, but it really isn't. So if somebody's working cat, they're not going to be too concerned about the guy mid. They're going to be working for the guy long and working up cat. So say if the smoke goes down, I'd wait until I hear the first guy, because the first guy is usually the best indicator. Because whenever somebody goes into a place, the first guy is usually the one to check the place as it clears. So as soon as I hear the first footstep, I'd start walking through the smoke. Depending on where the smoke is, like if I'm out here in the smoke, I can actually see this door, it means it's a deep smoke. So I can actually get into this big box, the headshot box, and I can be covered by it. So I'd move into here, I'd make sure nobody's coming B, but if they're hitting A, chances are they'll have 3 long, 2 cat, or 2 long, 3 cat. So you can actually count the footsteps as they come. So just make sure you clear that, and then you get up here. As soon as you get to this box, you're pretty much golden, because you'll see the back of 1 or 2 of them, and then the third guy's usually going to be up here on cat, depending on how quick you are to rotate. I see a lot of mid players, what they'll do is they'll actually wait for the smoke to come out, which is bad, because they're trying to clear that site, and once they clear that site, that's when they kind of turn around and start watching cat. They're not going to be watching cat while they're trying to take A. It's not enough manpower. But to answer the question that they actually wanted, instead of going off on a tangent, if they're taking A and you get stuck mid, this will be smoked. Use the smokes to your advantage. So as you come up here, it depends on if you're the last player alive. If they just smoke this and you guys are yelling at you that they're coming A, the guy in cat might be dead, but the guy inside sight will be clear. So he'll probably be watching long, so what you want to do is you want to creep up to about here and watch either this corner or watch this corner. Like I said, one of them will actually be open unless they use 2 smokes. We'll say worst case scenario they have 2 smoke and you can't see anything. You kind of just do this kind of big arch pattern. Start from here and you just swing your mouse all the way over and then you check it. Just because the guy here, this spot will be the last place he'll check. So you'll start here because if they kill this guy and the guy starts planting, you might even get lucky and the bomb planter will be right here and you can actually shoot him right in the head as he's planting. That would be the worst case scenario. But then as you start to do a swing, you don't have to worry about Goose because Goose can't see you. The only guy that could see you is if they start running cat. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, the guy who's going to be here is not going to be worried about looking down here. He'll be looking over here.
Negative.
Okay.
And if you want to get really fancy too, throw flashbangs off of here. What my personal favorite is getting an HE grenade and doing that fade away like this.
Grenade.
That'll land right on top of the whole crew.
Grenade.
Oh, he said okay, that's exactly what he wants to know. Cool.
Perfect.
Throwing flashbang.
I think we're going to be here for
flashbangs off of that.
I think we're going to be here for an hour if we keep answering all the questions. So I'm going to grab a couple more and we'll go from there.
Well, it doesn't matter. We can keep going through.
All right, let's see here. There's that one. Cask and T-spawn. How do you? Okay, we got that one. Mirage. Okay, we're not Mirage at the moment. Strength. I'll see if we go to that. I'll see what he wants to do after. Cover Crossfire, please. How to effectively set them up. Okay, let me see if he wants to do that. If you're solo opping B, where do you smoke?
Sorry, repeat that. I was just alt-tabbed and it lagged out.
I noticed the whole game lagged.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all good. If you are solo opping B, is that something that you would do later on?
Oh, absolutely. Just because of the way that B's set up, you have a nice long little hallway. Let me give us ops. Hang on. Yeah, pick up an op. Alright, so if you're opping B, there's pretty much 3 main places you'd want to play. One's right up here, It depends on if you're at B all by yourself, but the mid player will usually
All by
jump
yourself.
up here and he'll
Let's say
watch.
you're covering
so if you're
B.
all by yourself. Alright, let's say if it's say like a 1v3 and the bomb's down right here. Say you got lucky and the bomb landed there, you killed 2 guys. What a lot of people will do in 1v3s, 1v4s, I actually think MVK made a video about this. You always want to do 1v1s with the rest of the team. You never want to actually do like a 2v1 or a 3v1 because there's too many bullets to get killed instantly. So what you want to do is, the chances are what they'll do is they'll send 2 guys out mid and 1 guy in tunnel. So if you have a smoke, the first thing I'd do is I'd smoke probably right to about here, and then I would play right here, so that way I can watch this. The only reason why I'd play right here is because you have a smoke and tunnel, so chances are they're not going to push through smoke, they'll wait it out. You can watch here, because that guy will be the first guy to come in, and you can actually hear if somebody's jumping up on your window. You'll hear them. If somebody jumps window, best thing to do is just to back up, because you can see the top of their heads, right there. But like I said, try to do 1v1s. So if you have that smoke, try to 1v1 this guy. You kill him, the next thing I would do is I'd snap over here. Only reason I do that is because this guy, your window guy, is not going to jump out that door. If he's going to do anything, he's going to jump down here, and you're going to be covered by that headshot box as soon as he jumps down here. And, because the way that players play,
Throwing smoke.
if you're sitting in tunnels, and your partner, or I should say your teammate, gets killed right here, you know that that badass is on platform, because they'll probably call it out, probably, oh, the guy's on platform, and he just killed me at doors. So if you come over here, the guy in tunnels will be running out thinking, oh, okay, he's looking at doors. The other guy is probably going to take him out window. But if you're waiting for the guy right here, and like I said, I smoke it, stay right there. You'll see this guy, oh, go back. You'll see this guy run out here, and you can shoot him long before he sees you. And the very next thing you do is just come around this corner, and then take out the guy that's going to be jumping down window.
Okay.
That's the best place to play be solo by yourself. If you start to get into shit, fall back here, because an opper always wants walls beside him. He never wants to get shot from somewhere he's not looking, right? If you get into shit. By shit I mean, say this guy pops out and you miss him, that's when I'd start falling back. If I miss that shot, he'll duck back in because he'll be flipped out that it's an op, or he'll try to kill you right away. If you miss that shot, that's when I start watching window, because this will already be smoked.
Throwing smoke.
You don't got to worry about that. You back off into here. If you're hugging here, you just move to the left because you can actually see door. And if you're not scoped in, you'll see tunnel as well. And also you hear the guy drop in window. Because when people take sights, they never take sights quietly. Never ever. You'll never hear the guy come like this and go. He'll always just come in like a bat out of hell. For some reason, these are a fan favorite with ops too. I'm not too sure why, but it's a nice little place to play if you like.
All right. Cool. Let's see. Hang on. There's one more question. Okay, we got that one. I saw a lady die today. That's cool. Question. Okay, I have more luck. I did it in past. Okay. That's kind of an interesting one right here. From CT, how do you save terrorists sniping you from the spawn? Basically, it's just a smoke, right? Smoke, jump, different angles.
There's 2 ways to do it. That's actually a really good question. Especially with the new update now, the wall banging, it's going to be a one-shot kill through these.
Really?
They're making kids cry all the time. Yep, it's a one-shot kill right through the door with an op from T-spawn, shooting any crosses over here. I actually got a 3K once just by sitting in spawn watching.
Got 2K today.
Yeah. Counter-terrorist, you gotta kind of outsmart the terrorist in that sense. So never take the same pattern or the same path, the same way. So if you're rushing into B and say it's the the third or fourth round, say they won all 3 and they have ops now. The first path I do is you might do this. You want to get out of the habit of jumping, just because you actually, that terrorist is at a higher point, so he'll be aiming up here already. Usually right here is the window of truck. So if you jump, you're putting yourself right in the line of it. This is without smokes too. Say if this is an eco round, you can't. One of the rights that I do is I run this way. Another one you can do is this one, and you cut straight across. This one actually freaks them out because they think you're going to run through doors. So the first person, usually it's best to do this because it'll screw up the opera's crosshairs, and he'll put his crosshairs down here, and the next person can run on the top. Another one is right at the top. What you don't want to do is you don't want to run diagonally like this, because you'll be in his crosshairs longer than running straight across.
I don't know what the
That's
command
going
is,
without
Burn.
smokes. You can even do little jumps down here if you want to as well. But like I
Hang on,
said,
I'll
if
try
you're
to
ever
ask
doing a
him.
jump, you're always going to be in the same way. And if you're terrorist, always aim a little higher, because no matter where they jump, if they jump, they'll be in your crosshair. The best smokes, you can throw a smoke against this wall. The lower, usually the better.
Smoke.
And that'll smoke. Oh, that was actually a shitty one, but that usually covers.
Laying down smoke.
That's a little too far, but actually that worked well. The best one to do, though, in my opinion, is this one right here. As soon as you start off, you throw it right against this little wall.
Laying down smoke.
That's where this little box.
Where'd you
And
do
what
that
it does
again?
is it smokes right here for you.
Did you shoot
right
where you did that?
against
Deploying flashbang.
this. That's a flashbang.
Throwing smoke.
And you can just run through the
The
smoke.
main reason, well, the main reason that I like this is the people that are going to play B is they can run through the smoke. They don't have to wait for the smoke to pop like this one, because this one actually it'll delay you. Any amount of time that you're taking is more time they can get into B, right? So this one, it's good for like 3 reasons. One, it pops right away as soon as you're running. The second one is
I'm
it's
gonna see
keeping.
this view real quick. I'm
Sure.
gonna check from this view. You want to go across it?
Yep. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Round
Throwing
starts.
smoke.
I'm already in B.
Never saw you go by.
Yeah. But the main good thing about this is if you have an opper, he can stand in front of the smoke, so you're not you're kind of getting in his way whatsoever. And also, if you and watch Cat, you're not smoking mid for the terrorists. That's why that one is far superior to everything else.
Gotcha. Okay. I will highlight this, guys. Let's see here.
And this is just dust. We still have like 8 other maps.
How do I invite somebody to this game? Can I invite someone?
I think you can. It's private, so you might not be able to. We can just rejoin the lobby, or we can remake the lobby.
Okay, let me see if there's another question or not. And then,
Sure. And then we can start strategies. Not strategies, sorry. Common errors new players make.
okay,
That's what.
let's see here. Question is, what is this chord? There we go. Got a question. If you're a T and you're doing an A split and you're the only one left. Wait, if you're T.
and you
Oh,
do
sorry.
two split.
If the T are doing an A split and you are the only one left, which path, where should you hide first if you had an op? Basically, if you're shooting A short or long.
Alright, so let me get this straight. So if you're A, if you're playing A, and the terrorists are doing a 3-2 split on A, and you're the last one left, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a good question. I didn't read it first.
How would they kill the B guy before they kill the A guy? If they're doing a 3-2 split on A.
Erosion, he already covered how to go over covering long. I'll highlight this video, so. Let's see here. Hang on. How to smoke long. We already went over that. It'll be in the highlight. If you guys want to rewatch this, I'll highlight that. Let's see what else. Hang on.
Oh, here, I'll show you a common error a lot of new people make when they're flashing long. There's a skybox right up here. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll throw their flashbangs and they'll actually hit this, and it'll end up right about here, flashing their teammate. You don't want to do that. Because
you
what I see a
build
lot of
it,
people do is they throw their
nerds
flashbangs
will
like this,
come.
and then it hits that wall, and then it flashes people. Like
Guilty.
it landed right here. Yeah.
Crap,
The
where am
best
I?
place to
Oh,
do
crap.
this, here, fly into the air, is you want to follow this path. You want to go right beside this wall, but you don't want to hit this wall. You want to make sure the flashbang flies like right here. And I'll show you how that looks. Stay up in the air. I'll throw a smoke so that way you can actually see it. So the route that I'm running is I'm running right beside this car, and I'm throwing the smoke
If you build
this
it,
way.
Laying down
nerds
smoke.
will come.
Now, see, the good thing about the smoke is, the flashbang with that is because if they're already peeked out, you'll flash them, and also if they're already running down here, you'll flash them as well. A common error, besides people throwing it against this damn thing and flashing their teammates, is they throw the flashbang straight over like this.
Throwing flashbang.
The problem with that
I didn't even
is
see
if
that.
they do it too early, the CTs will already know that you're coming because they'll be flashed for a second, but it doesn't really do anything. Like, I'm sure you've been right about here, and you get flashed just for a second.
If you build
What's
it,
happening there is
nerds
new
will
players,
come.
or I should say players that don't know how to flash long A properly. What they're doing is they're throwing their flashbang over like this,
Throwing flashbang.
and it's not flashing anybody. It's just kind of flashing, it's doing a world flash, because I mean people on cat will still be flashed by it too. So what you're essentially doing is you're warning the CTs that you're coming along, and you're wasting a flashbang. The best thing to do is the one that I showed you. So say if you're long, go long. And say if you're running down long, you want to do the flash that I just showed you. That'll
around
be
the
the
corner,
best
yeah.
one.
Okay.
Deploying flashbang.
There's one question that somebody really wants to get at. Hang on. Where's that crossfire question? I know it was just asked.
Can you guys cover crossfire setups and how they can easily set up on any specific map?
It is specific to
Yeah.
the map, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it isn't. It just, basically, you never want to be watching the same place that your buddy's watching. Again, you'll probably need a team for that, because when you're matchmaking with solos, it's just too difficult to get something set up in game. You usually just get yelled at.
Hey,
or,
Bat, we went over that.
people will
It'll be in the highlight, man.
not very trusting of you.
So follow
a lot
me
of
and
it,
check
I
out the
see
highlight
people only
after.
like playing the same positions too. I really need a couple people long, one person cat, one person mid, one person B. But crossfires are easy. You just cover a spot that your buddy's not covering. Like if I come long with Ice, say I've never met Ice before, and me and him are both coming long. Ice, play long like you normally would. All right, so obviously I'm not going to stand behind Ice. Obviously I'm not going to stand in front of Ice. The best thing for me to do would either to play pit, or I'd support Ice. And by supporting Ice, I would be, say, right here with the flashbang. And say, I'll be waiting here, and as soon as I hear him fire the first shot, I'll just throw this. As soon as an op fires his first shot, an op will duck in. 9 times out of 10, I've never seen an op fire their shot and stay standing still. So what will happen is, he'll take the shot, I'll throw the flashbang, he'll duck in. Hopefully, these people will be running out, and then I can take him out. But it's really dependent on you. When I started to get really good at Counter-Strike Go, it's all because I realized that every single time I died, it was because of my own fault. I stopped blaming other people. Like, say if I was watching Cat and I died long, before I would start flipping on the guy long, saying, why don't you cover long, blah, 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 blah. But then I started realizing, okay, well, if I want to play Cat, I want to make sure my ass is covered long, so I'll just play right here, and then that's it. And then I started getting more and more 2Ks, 3Ks, 4Ks, aces, and I stopped getting angry with people. I mean, I go into every game thinking it's a big 5v1, and then the other people are just killing people, and it's a bonus. Once you start having that mentality, and you stop getting mad at other people, once you realize that you died just because you died, and you could have changed that, nobody else, you'll play a lot better. Anyway, go back to long. Best thing to do if an opera is op in long, go over there. And if I know an opera is op in long,
I'm sorry. With the reflex.
This flashbang works well because an opera will be scoped up long, so he actually won't see a flashbang coming over like this. And as soon as it pops, I come out.
Ooh, right in the head.
Yep, it looks really good too. Come over here, I'll show you exactly how that looked. Just don't look at the flashbang, just watch me. All I did was I held my two mouse buttons, right click and left click, and I threw it up and over this. Just like this.
Throwing flashbang.
As soon as that pops, I crouch down and I fire. The reason why I crouch down is when an opera gets blinded, he fires automatically. That's how you want to do that. Here, I'll show you how. So say I've got an op, and I'm sitting here, I'm crossed up. Go ahead. I'm waiting for you to flash and come
Hey,
out and shoot me.
what does the two left and right click do? I've never heard of left
Part
and
of the new
right.
update. Yeah, in Counter-Strike 1.6, or even before that, all you could do is throw a grenade just like that. They've since changed it now, so you can actually throw a grenade underhand by holding the right mouse button, and it goes a further distance. And if you hold both of them at the same time and let go of it, it throws it a medium distance.
Really? I didn't know about the medium distance
Here.
one.
Here, come here and I'll show you. So what I want you to do is just aim at this wall right where I shoot with your crosshairs,
I'm learning too, guys.
right? So now let a flashbang. Oh yeah, use a grenade, that's fine. So throw a grenade, mouse button. Alright, now throw it with your right mouse button,
Grenade out.
and now throw it with both.
Throwing a grenade.
See how it goes different distances?
Fire in the hole.
How did I do 3 different ones? Or 4 different?
Well, it's like a charge up too. The longer you hold it, the more power you throw it.
Gotcha, okay.
9 times out of 10, I never find a really good reason to use those. I usually just bank the nades, but in this situation, it actually works out easier because you flash the opera longer.
Throwing flashbang.
That's what I was doing in the real game.
Flashbang.
Yeah, some
Alright.
trouble over there?
No, you ready? I'm gonna try it.
Yep.
Deploying flashbang.
Well, it might help if I hit you. That was so close!
How the hell did you miss me?
It was an alt, man.
It went through me.
Alright, hang on. Take 2.
Flashbang.
Time out. Redo.
Throwing flashbang.
Alright. Left
Yeah, I'm
mouse
just
clicking.
really curious to see how the hell you're doing that. Alright, you're aiming too low, that's all. Throw it nice and high like that. The higher the better.
Oh god.
Okay, go ahead.
Deploying flashbang.
Much better.
Way off.
Alright, give me your op.
Deploying flashbang.
I think I know exactly. Oh, actually, no, I'll just make an op too.
That would have had you. What?
Alright. Any other questions?
I think...
Throwing
I think we're
flashbang.
good. Oops, that was a left click to get back on my screen.
Alright,
Oh shoot, I can't hear him.
make,
Oh wait, 2 seconds, hang on.
another.
I'm sorry. Alright, I didn't hear what he said. Nope, no more question.
Okay.
I mean,
I've
there's
been
more,
playing
but I'm not gonna
Counter-Strike-
answer all of them.
I've been playing Counter-Strike since 1.1 or 1.2 back, well, 2001 is how long I've been playing Counter-Strike for 13 years. And I always have an open mind about it. I always learn something new, and you can always learn something new. So it doesn't matter how long you've been playing it, chances are if you try and find something new, you will. So with that being said, all the new players that are just getting into it for the first time, don't get discouraged. You have people that have been playing even longer than me that have been playing beta since 1998.
Hawk, is that a real
So
question?
they have 14, 15 years on you, and just don't get discouraged thinking you're not going to get better, because when you play better people, that's when you get better. I mean, as fun as it is wrecking a whole bunch of silver elites, you won't get better until you actually start going up against somebody who challenges your skills, we'll say. So first things first.
Here's actually a really good one, real quick. Which actually, you said you're going to go over strategy and stuff?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, basically, this is kind of a smoke strategy. How do you... He's seen people throw smokes, as soon as it leaves their hand, it almost pops. Is that just because it stops? It has to stop on the floor, right?
Yeah, it will not. It's not like a charge or anything like that. No, nothing in Counter-Strike is like a cooking.
Okay, Hawk.
That doesn't exist.
Hang on, I'll ask him.
I've never even heard of it leaving their hand right away and deploying, but yeah, it has to bounce on the ground and come to a standstill, and then it pops.
So if you do something such as, say, throw it in a corner, see, not that one, and it bounces,
Smoke.
that pops quicker because it stops quicker.
Laying down smoke.
Yeah. Well, if you just drop it on the ground like this,
Throwing smoke.
you see how it always has a little bit of a bounce to it?
Throwing smoke.
There's really no way to stop that bounce. Like, that will happen with everything.
Oh, I almost died.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful.
Alright, let's go to strategy.
Alright, this is where it gets nice and fun. Okay, so I see a lot of new players, what they'll do is they'll run around reloading. You never ever want to do that. Unless it's 5v1 and you know the guys at B with the bomb or whatever, never run around and reload. Let me take off infinite ammo here. It's always a bad idea because I'll see new players, what they'll do is say they'll be playing cat and they fire a bunch of bullets and say they killed the one guy, and then everyone's like, oh, you know what? They're running B. They'll pop out here and they'll start running and reloading. But the problem with that is if there's a second guy B, or sorry, if there's a second guy on cat and the rest of them are at B, you're gonna get killed very, very easily by the guy that's
Which
playing
happens
cat.
often.
So it's almost always better to wait for that reload and then run out. Now, with that being said, take this gun. I'll show you a very, very, very special little secret with Counter-Strike. There we go. With the exception of a few guns, the Op being one, Negev being one,
That, we went over that
reload
already. It'll be in the
animation,
highlight.
for you to get your bullets back into the gun is actually quicker than you watching the reload animation. So to put that into perspective, say you have your gun out, fire a few bullets. Alright. Okay, well, fire a few bullets, but don't reload completely. Like,
Yeah, I know, it's making me
10
reload
bullets.
now.
Yeah, shoot 10 bullets. Alright, so do you see at the bottom right hand corner it says 10?
Now it does.
Okay. Now don't do it just yet, but when you hit R, your player animation is going to take out that magazine, he's going to put in another magazine, and then he's going to hit the cycle or the action, the bolt on the gun. As soon as the animation puts in the brand new magazine, that's it, the gun's done reloading. So you'll see it. As soon as you hit R, watch, as soon as your player puts in the magazine, you'll see that that number will jump from 10 to 20. Alright? Okay, now a big secret with this is when you're running around with the gun, obviously you're slower. FPS Doug tells everybody that you run faster with a knife. So a trick with Counter-Strike now is when you reload, you just wait until that second magazine clicks, and then you pull out your knife and you can run faster and you can get there quicker, and then when you pull out that gun, you'll have full ammo. Try it with this gun. So what I want you to do is I want you to fire 15, 20 bullets. Okay? So now what I want you to do is I want you to reload, and as soon as you click in that magazine, hit your knife and start running. Alright, so now when you pull out your gun, you actually have full ammo. That actually works on most any gun. Same thing with a pistol. Oh, you have a pistol, no, you don't need mine. You shoot bullets, as soon as that magazine goes into your gun, you're done reloading. And then you take off. When you pull out that gun, you'll have full bullets.
Now, is it actually quicker to real quick, like quick swap, the quick swap button, as soon as that magazine hits to pull out your gun, and you're able to fire quicker?
The absolute only advantage to this is just moving quicker. So say if I'm here, I'm taking out a guy on cat, and then they start calling, hey, it's a rush B. what I do is I reload my gun. As soon as that magazine's in, I hit my knife and then I take off. That's the only thing. There's actually a cap on your bullets shooting, so no matter what, if I stand here and I fire the bullets,
If you
when I
build it,
reload, I'm holding down the mouse button.
nerds will come.
It's the same amount of time as doing my little quick switch thing, because it'll actually hold you off.
Gotcha. Okay.
The only time that this was good was back in 1.2 and 1.3 with the op. What a lot of people would do is they'd fire their shot and they'd quick switch like that. They'd scope in, fire the shot, quick switch back. That was actually faster, but then they started having a scope delay on it, so you couldn't quick scope and you couldn't follow up with a quicker shot. The only reason people do this nowadays is when they have an op and they take a shot and you see them quick switch like that, it's that way it's actually faster to unscope and get a better surrounding picture than say to stay scoped in.
1.4.
Those
Okay,
are the
well.
only benefits to that.
Oh. Okay. Quick question. Easy one to answer real quick.
Sure.
Do you recommend somebody masters a map before going to other maps? Like do one map at a time, or how do you recommend learning maps as a new player? Or whatnot?
Actually, the best way to learn a new map is to play it over and over and over and over and over again.
Do you say one person to master it?
Best thing to do is say go play casual or play deathmatch or such, just so you kind of learn the layout of the map. Then once you start playing competitively, you'll get to see what times they get there, where people like to hide, that kind of thing. The only thing that I can say is Bruce Lee actually too. He says that he wasn't scared of a guy that learned 10,000 kicks once. He was scared of a guy that learned one kick 10,000 times, or he practiced it, something like that. I'm butchering the quote. But it works out a lot too, because I mean, all some people do is they just play Dust 2, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Some people just play Office, some people just play Vertigo, and what they do is they master it. They learn how quick somebody can get to one place, where the best flashbangs are and such. Like the brand new maps that just came out for Operation Point Break, or Breakout, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All the maps are really garbage. I don't like them that much at all. But in order to learn them, you just play them over and over and over and over and over again, and eventually you start to learn them. You start to learn where the places are. Everybody said that Black Gold was a maze, which it absolutely is, but when you first started playing that map, like, they could literally be anywhere. Your enemies could be hiding in any corner. But then once you start playing a little bit, you start to realize, okay, they're usually not in this corner, they're more than likely in this corner. So to answer that question straightforward is, you just master the maps, play them over and over and over again. It's very time consuming and it's very boring and very repetitive, but that's what pro gaming is all about. Like, if you go ask MBK, Get Right, Hiko, ask them how many times they played the same map, and they'll just shake their heads at you.
Alright, good deal.
Alright, so we'll move on to the next thing here. This is something that's a little bit higher level, but it works out for everybody. So let's find a good little door. Over here. Alright, I'll say into the best thing.
Shit.
When someone's popped out like this, and they're firing at somebody, and then they hide, it's called ducking, like ducking in. The best part to do with ducking is what they'll do is, at lower levels, I'm going to be aimed at your head the whole time. Even if I'm inside here, I'm going to be aimed at your head. Do you understand what I mean by that? Like,
Yeah.
even though I can't see you, I'm still looking at your head. In lower levels that works. When you get to higher levels, it doesn't work because they're in different spots. I'm going to teach you about the different spots right now. So come stand over here. At lower levels, what I see is people will stand in the same spot. So I'm shooting at you, right? I duck in to reload or whatever, or just to get out of cover. I pop back out, shoot you in the head, come back. And I can do that all day, basically. What you want to do is you want to start learning to, when somebody ducks in, you got to kind of really think. What you want to do is you want to move just a little bit, just a little out of the way. And what happens is, you know where they're going to pop out, but they don't know where you're going to pop out. They're going to still be looking through this wall, and they're going to be shooting at you here, right? So what happens is, if I pop out, you're going to see me first. I have to move my crosshair all the way to your head to fire, whereas all you got to do is just shoot at my head. I'm going to be, I might be a couple centimeters, but it's going to be a lot more difficult for me. The best way to look is come over here, and I'll show you how this looks. Okay, go over by double stack. Whoa, baby. Alright, so do the same thing. So pop out, right?
Eh! Damn it!
You just kind of want to always be in a different spot so then they're not expecting you. I see a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll stay in the same spot, especially with ops. I don't know why, it's the worst. If you have an op and I'm standing right here and you take a shot and you miss me and then you duck back in, the person will sit here and wait for that op. The best thing to do is if you duck back in after you miss your shot and then you move just a couple feet to the right, you can kill that opper all day. Now, going back to aiming through the wall,
I'll ask some sweets. 1
but you
second.
want to start doing it higher league. Don't do it at lower league because it won't help you. It's not beneficial whatsoever. I'd say anything below a DMG, just aim through the wall and pop out and get used to firing at the same spot over. Above DMG, when you start to get to Eagles and such, people will start doing that little tactic that I just showed you about how they'll go to different spots. So what you have to do to counter that is if you pop back in, reposition your crosshair to the corner of this wall, and as you pop out, follow it the whole time. The best thing with Counter-Strike is that you always have better crosshair placement than your opponent. So what happens is, if you're like this, you pop out and you're exposed, and then you have to move your crosshair. But when you're like this and you're popping out, you're kind of aimed at the same spot, so the enemy will see you at the same time you'll see them.
And do you, when you do that, when you're coming around a corner and you're aiming like that, you know, you're doing what you said above a DMG. Do you slow walk that?
No, we're going to talk about stutter stepping right now, actually. So what stutter stepping is everybody knows is when you're standing still and you fire your weapon, it's going to be a lot more accurate than you're going to be firing when you run. Now, I'm going to need you to actually strafe left and right here, Iceman, to kind of put into perspective. What Counter-Strike has and has always has is something called acceleration and deceleration. So it basically means when you're at a standstill and you push and hold your left strafe A, it takes you kind of like half a second to get up to full running speed. And then when you let go of it, it takes about half a second to decelerate and come to a standstill. When you're decelerating, you're actually going to be just as inaccurate as you are when you run. So what a lot of people will do is they start stutter stepping now. So say if I'm holding A, what I do to counteract that deceleration is I stutter step. I'll be holding A and then I tap D very quickly and I come to a standstill very, very quickly.
You just tap it. Oh,
So
shit.
Yeah, so what I want you to do is just, don't go left and right, just go one direction, just hold A, tap D, fire. Hold A, tap D, fire. Hold A, tap D, fire. Just get used to that. Oh, you need more ammo? Hang on.
Oh, thanks.
There you go. Right in my face. See how much you like me. When you get to a higher level, it becomes second nature to just do this kind of thing. But what I see a lot of people that they're starting out stutter stepping, what they do is they start firing before or after the stutter step's complete. So it starts to look like a kind of a crazy panic spray. Actually, when you get into really, really high level leagues, you'll notice that Hiko, MBK, Get Right, all of them, they almost never stutter step like left and right, left and right. What they do is they run out, they stutter step once so they come to a complete stop, and then they lay in because they know the recoil patterns. It's actually faster to learn the recoil patterns than it is to stutter step all day long. Because I'm sure you've seen those firefights when two people are about this far away from each other, and they enter their entire clips, and they miss, and then it's the next person who pulls out their pistol first is usually the one who wins. If you can eliminate that, you can kill the person with the first 3 or 4 shots, then that's it. It's all game over.
Potatoes, imagine me learning it, huh?
So
It is paintball.
basically the same thing happens when you have an op too. It's the same kind of principle. You need to learn that stutter step if you want to get off those fast shots. Especially if I'm coming around the corner and I don't expect you to be there, and you're there, I want to learn to come to a complete stop quickly and lay as many bullets into you as I can. So, to go back to our original question is, when you're like this, when you're coming around the corner, it's always, like, I don't even think of any reason why you want to come out slowly. You always want to pop out nice and quick, put the bullets in, and pop back in. You never ever want to walk out, especially if you have a sniper rifle. See how your bullets are kind of everywhere? What you're doing is, you might get the first shot accurate. Yeah, that's a lot better. What you're doing is you're holding your button too long, and that's why the bullets are starting to go a little cray-cray.
So stand over there. I want to try doing this to you.
Sure.
you! Damn it! See, now I'm forgetting everything I learned, and I'm just like, die!
So now to follow up with that, another thing you want to do is you never want to go left, right, left, right, left, right, because that gets very repetitive, and they can kind of guess where your head's going to be. So if you're staying in that position, and you
Yeah,
go
you
right,
did.
you know the guy's going to go
Got
left.
wrecked.
So you kind of want to switch it up. It's more mental, and I know it's very difficult when you're against a guy, you see him, you just want him to drop dead as soon as possible. But you actually, if you take the time, and like if you take that extra second to line up your crosshair, or to do the stutter step correctly, you usually get a kill faster than the other guy will. And then
That's
it becomes
something
second nature.
I had to learn that in golf. Like, I could hit a ball like 320 plus yards, and every time I'd hit, it'd be super hard to hit it, or like it wouldn't go straight. But then when I started to relax, I'd still hit a ball 300 yards, but I'd be accurate, and I'd get it to go where it goes. Yes, and I play
Exactly.
golf.
Same thing with Counter-Strike too.
So I took my
If you
time and
actually
relaxed a
watch
little
over,
bit.
Yeah, if you watch over, like everybody in the stream too, I'm not just talking to you, Iceman. If you watch over your demos and you see how many times that you run into a guy and how many times it takes about 2 or 3 seconds to kill that person, it's actually kind of funny. If you
Kyle? Get
actually
some lessons
run
right
out
now.
somewhere and you see a guy, take the extra second just to aim at his head. Just come to a standstill, aim at his head. Because when you're in the same league together, he'll be doing the same thing that we're talking about now. He'll be flipping out, he'll be spraying down, he'll be moving everywhere. You just aim at the guy's head and then you lay a whole bunch into him. You'll kill him, I'd say 9 times out of 10. Just be patient with yourself, and then you'll naturally just get quicker at it. You'll just naturally get quicker at moving it. Your muscle memory will get better. It's just as simple as that. Also, too, try to get a nice big mouse pad and try to have your area nice and clear. If you have clutter, or if you don't have a nice big mouse pad, it's going to be kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage, just because you don't have enough room.
That helped me out a lot. That's exactly what I did maybe
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I went and bought myself a mouse pad. Actually, I just downgraded to a smaller one, but it's still big. This thing's covering
Yeah.
my face.
As long as you have room to move, then you're laughing. Also, too, if you're just starting the game and you want to kind of learn how to put your crosshair on the heads of people, lower your sensitivity. It's going to be harder to clear sights, such as if you're running in to snap from here to platform to the site. It'll be difficult because you have to keep moving your mouse. But once you start learning how
I see that question.
mouse works and such,
That
then start upping your crosshair.
And we
I
have
played with
already
400
gone over that,
DPI, and
I'll
I think
explain
it
here in a
was
second, hang on.
1.2 sensitivity. Like, it was really, really bad. If I went from one side of my mouse pad to the other, I pretty much just did like a pie, like just like a little 45-degree angle. Didn't even do a 180. Now I play at 450 DPI with 1.8, and that's just because I can pretty much do a 180, so I can spin on somebody if they're shooting behind me. That's the only
Wow.
reason for that.
I play with, what do I play with? I think 1.35 acceleration off. How do you find your DPI?
DPI is usually in your mouse software. It's basically just another form of sensitivity. I believe it stands for dots per inch, and there's also something that's centimeters per inch. No, it's not centimeters. Stands for something else. I think Razer has
Well,
it, though.
I know this
Counts
thing
per
is
inch.
capable up to like 14,000 or something like that. It's capable.
Yet, there's absolutely no reason for it. It's just they're showing off. If you play with 4,000 DPI, I will give you my entire computer, because like that is absolutely insanity.
Well, this mouse is 14,000 DPI or something like that. But the thing is, I know
Yeah, you'll never, ever, ever need it.
CS doesn't even recognize
If
that
you
much.
build it,
So I'm
nerds
curious
will
what it's
come.
actually at. You know what I mean?
Chances are it's probably
What's up,
in
Hawk? Thanks for the
between.
follow, bro.
It could be anywhere between 300 to 700. It just depends. But if you are playing at 1.35, how many spins would you do? Say if you go from one side of your crosshair or one side of your mouse pad to the other side of your mouse pad.
One in
About 360?
1/3.
All right, that's a little high. Do you find yourself, if you ever come out on somebody, do you find yourself having to readjust, like you're aiming over here and you have to readjust, and then you're aiming over here, like it's hard to put your crosshair on the guy?
Kinda, but any slower than this, then I don't feel like I can even make that on my mouse pad.
Well, it all comes down to personal preference, of course, too. But just if you're just starting out, I'd recommend doing a lower sensitivity and then working your way up too. I know it's very uncomfortable too. For changing your crosshair, like Counter-Strike players are renowned for not liking change. But it actually helps you out quite a bit if you are open to change and you try different things. Because like I said, when I was clearing sites before, I'd never be able to clear all the way because I'd have to move my mouse, and that extra second of picking up your mouse and putting it on the solid mouse pad will get you killed. Alright, let's see what else we got here.
Hey, Battle, just to go over
Okay,
real quick, we
this is
already went
pretty much
over
just
that.
common sense, but
Taking
if
over
you hear
B,
somebody
gonna
and
be
you
in the
suspect
highlight, bro.
somebody to be in there, and then you're saying crossed up, just wait it out. Wait the extra 4 or 5 seconds, because 9 times out of 10, if you suspect somebody to be in there, they are in there. A lot of people will get impatient, and then they'll start pushing in, and then when you're moving, that person's not moving, they can shoot you in the head faster, and there's nothing more aggravating than that. Knowing somebody's in there, and then they end up popping out first. The worst feeling in the world. Unless it's like an emergency situation where you need to run to A because they're planting the bomb, just wait it out. Wait for that guy to peek out.
Okay.
What else do we got here?
Question.
Answer.
Let's see. It's known, for example, Razer Death Ad works best with 1800 DPI, but people prefer 1K DPI with 1 in-game sensitivity. Why can't 1800 DPI plus 1 in-game sensitivity? What?
Okay, I see what he means. Basically, he's
Because
just
I
saying
don't,
that
to be honest.
the like I don't know too much about Razer because I'm using Logitech right now. But what he's basically saying is that he has a higher DPI set on his mouse and a lower sensitivity in game. Why that's better than, say, 1000 on the mouse and a medium
Gotcha, okay.
sensitivity in game.
Okay, now I get the question.
Yeah, I think it breaks down to the DPI is actually at your polling rate and such. So when you're actually moving the mouse, how many times it can count per inch mixed with your polling rate. That's just how many times your mouse will look and send messages back to the computer. It's such a minuscule amount that it's not even worth it. We're talking about, like an analogy would be, seeing the difference between 240 FPS and 260 FPS. Like it's such a minuscule amount that you wouldn't even really know the difference of it. So you just pretty much it breaks down to if you have DPI on the fly, like you play games like Battlefield or I don't really know what other games would come in handy, maybe War Thunder, where you need to switch your DPI. Say if you go inside of a tank and you like that turret to spin around all day, that's kind of where it comes into play. But for a
What are you
game like
talking about, bro?
Counter-Strike, just locking it at whatever you like and just rolling with that. A lot of professional players will play at a low DPI and a higher sensitivity in game, but it's really just preference.
Okay. Somebody just said that higher DPI is more effective that the player leaves accelerating on. It's more effective.
Yeah, you never ever want to keep acceleration on. A lot of people are starting to say now that it really doesn't matter, but your brain can only, like your muscle memory, can interpret so much. So when I'm moving my mouse, say 5 inches, I know exactly where that crosshair is going to end up each and every time. With acceleration, you have to learn how fast you move that 5 inches. So if I'm moving, say, at a medium pace, like Adam Sandler sings it, then I'll have to learn that muscle memory. And then if I move at a fast 5 inches, I have to learn that muscle memory. And a slow 5 inches, I have to learn that. It's better to keep it off and to learn those and to work with. I can understand when you're a high-level player, leaving it on would make sense, because then when you're kind of headshotting fools all day, just nice and tapping there, and then if you get shot behind, you want to spin that and you'll get there faster. But really, there's too many cons to it than there are pros. But like I said, it all comes down to personal preference, and if you enjoy that and you can frag guys all day, then hey, do it.
Cool. Alright.
Alright, next. Okay, we'll do this. Alright, so here, let's get into a little bit of a firefight.
Where am I?
Right here, just shoot, right? Okay, and then you go to reload mode, right? What I see a lot of people doing is when they're in a firefight and both people need to reload, they both take cover, people will actually turn around and run. You'll run the same speed no matter where you're running to. It's always, always, always good to keep your crosshairs. So say if you duck into lower tunnels, I watch you the entire time and I can watch you go into lower tunnels. What some people do is they'll they'll be shooting at them, and then they'll turn, they gotta reload, and they're like, fuck, they turn and they run like that. The bad thing with this is, when I turn, I might think you go into tunnels, but you could have went behind this big box too. And plus, if you're watching me, you know exactly where I went as well. Plus, worst case scenario, me and you were fighting, and then I turn to look away and I start running out. I don't see your other 3 teammates run out of here. So then I pop back out and I get shot by 4 guys instead of the 1 I was fighting with.
Gotcha.
A lot of even new players, or not even new players, even professional players do that too, which it boggles my mind why they would do that. Because you move the same speed no matter which way you're looking. Maybe the only difference is they're moving their head out of the way, but I mean, not really worth it in my opinion. I already taught you about how flashes you don't have to look away, or you don't have to do you look away from it, so we'll skip that. I'm just looking at my little notebook here.
See, let's do
Op, don't move when you're shooting. Or that. Morale is really big in Counter-Strike. It's more important when you have a full team or a group of buddies. But don't get down on yourself. If you have a shitty round, you have that shitty round and that's it. Don't talk about it during the next round.
Oh, god dang it.
What the fuck did you just do? I have God mode on, for Christ's sakes, and you still find a way to kill yourself?
Grab your gear and let's go.
Alright. Let's see here. Yeah, so to go back with that, if you have a bad round, don't carry it into the next round. Start the round off fresh. I know it sounds kind of silly, but morale is huge. If you don't think that you're going to win the game, then chances are you're not going to win the game. I've been down like 14-1 and come back and won the game before. And it happens quite often too. I'm sure you guys have all seen it too. You're down 12-13 and you switch up to T-side nuke and you just roll them. It's a really good feeling. But morale is huge. Try not to fight with people, try to be the good guy. You start fighting with people, they do stupid stuff, especially in MM when you're solo queuing.
So can you explain that scream earlier in that match we did? What was that scream?
It's because I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I didn't want it to happen, so I told him to hide. But as the words left my mouth and I said hide, he kind of popped out and got shot in the head. And I hated myself for not saying it earlier. So that's what that scream was involved.
Every time I
like
played
a
with you,
piece
you've
of me
been so
died
calm.
when he got shot.
Yeah, you're so calm. Every time I played with you, that was the one time I heard you scream. I was like, whoa!
Yeah, I wasn't mad at myself, but I was disappointed. What the fuck?
That's so sick! That taste is awesome.
Interesting. Let me see what else we got here.
Alright.
Oh, common one too. When you're a brand new player, you like to stick beside the walls when you peek out. You never want to do that. Stay away from the wall and when you peek out. Reason for that is when you start peeking out a little bit like this, they can actually, for one, shoot you through the wall easier, and they do more damage to you. And you're an easier target for you to stay nice and close. They happen to the crosshairs a little bit compared to if you're farther away. What else we got here? Pay attention to your radar. Your radar is very important. Yeah, I know it's difficult, especially when you play on bigger monitors. I'm on the 24-inch right now. But what I do is I actually make the HUD come in a little bit, so my radar isn't in the top left-hand corner. It's kind of at the top and a little bit offset to the left. It's a lot easier to see rather than all the way to the left.
Huh. Yeah, I've been killed a few times where I'm actually like looking at the radar and then somebody pops out and they already crossed my crosshairs on a op shot or something.
There you go, exactly. It more comes with second nature, you just glance up at it. But I know new players hate kind of leaving their eyes off the crosshair, which is completely understandable. I hate doing it now too, but sometimes you gain a lot of information. Especially if, say, you're holding cat and nobody's come for a little bit, glance up there because sometimes somebody's fighting in B, and whether they can't talk on the mic or they're just flipping out, you can see that quicker. Another one, grenades. If you're playing a map like this, and say you're playing mid, and you hear them rushing, you throw smokes, you throw your nades and such like that, there's absolutely no reason not to run back here and rebuy your nades. Hiko from Complexity is absolutely famous for this.
I don't think you can do that anymore.
Out. You can't buy smokes, but you can rebuy another grenade, and you can buy flashbang in the face.
Huh.
But yeah, just rebuy them. It just works out easier for you. Unless
Cool.
you're broke. But I mean, 2 grenades, there's nothing more satisfying than getting a 2 nade kill or a 3 nade kill. Alright, make an effort to learn recoil. That's actually huge.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go over that. If people want to learn recoil, there's a ton. We can explain it real quick, but
Yep, I'll show you nice and easily.
for specific guns, you guys can look on YouTube for the details on it.
When I first started, I mean, learning recoil is a very, very daunting task. For one, you have to be standing still, so you gotta learn that stutter stop. Just learn the M4 recoil and just learn the AK recoil, and don't even learn the whole pattern, because you're not gonna sit there and spray the guy until you're blue in the face. Just learn the first full bullet. The easiest way to do it with the M4, all you gotta do is pull down and to the left, because it looks like kind of a tornado. It goes up, left, right, left. And that's how it looks. You never want to sit there and lay it in, so what you want to do is just tiny little recoil patterns like this. It's the same thing with the M4, except you don't have the left-right. You just go up, left, and then right, and you're all done. So just learn, I'd say the first 10. Just learn those. So it goes first 3 shots are kind of dead center, then pull down, and then pull to the right, sorry. So like this. That's all you want to do right there. And with the AK, it's a little bit more difficult, but with the AK, you really never want to fire more than 2 or 3 bullets at any distance, unless you're right beside the guy. AK is wonderful for headshots, just because it's a one-shot kill to the head. Doesn't matter if they have armor on or not. Little unknown fact here, I'll show you something that's really nifty, is pull out your sidearm.
See if he notices.
So with a pistol, oh my, no, there you go. A lot of the pistols have the same kind of recoil patterns, like they just go straight up a little bit left, right. The Glock is actually a little different. I think the Deagle is like this too. Basically what the Glock has is a big circle pattern like this.
Okay, this I haven't
And
heard.
the Glock will fire anywhere in that circle, especially when you're spraying it down. It's never the same recoil pattern twice. The reason with that is because I'm sure you've been at long range and you're shooting a guy, and then for some reason you turn to fire at another guy, and then you fire that shot, and that bullet goes flying and hits the first guy you're shooting at, and you kind of just look at yourself like, how the hell did that happen? It's because it's a random generated shot. You never want to fight CTs at long range with the Glock, just because the Glock does not one-shot kill, the USP does. So you got to be very, very careful with that. Unless you're right up next to the guy, you're not going to kill the guy with the Glock. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe the Deagle's the same way. It's kind of got just a circle radius. That's why they've been having so much problems with trying to get it back to 1.6 in source recoil, because it used to be just an absolute death machine. Make an effort to go over the nade placements. We went over a lot of nade placements here, but for different maps such as Nuke, Mirage, Cache, that kind of stuff, make an effort to say just go on YouTube and learn these. Because when you start playing against people with the same skill as you, it basically means that they aim the same kinds as you, they have a crosshair placement the same as you. When you take the advantage of knowing flashbang spots, that's what's going to set you apart, and you're going to get more kills, and you're going to move up the ladder faster.
Gotcha. Can you put infinite ammo on? Actually,
There you go.
thank you. Okay. Let's see. I've looked at chat. What do you mean?
Then
I've been
switch
watching
over to
chat.
Nuke. There's
Somebody asking a question though?
a couple of things at the door that I want to teach.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I think there's a question. Yeah, my sleep skills are screwed big. Again, Tech 9, 1. It's not a 1. Well, if you're up close, it's a one-shot headshot. It's done 90 damage to you before. What was the question? What about the Tech 9? The headshot? Hang on, I'm trying to get the answer back. Oh yeah, M4A1 or M4A1S?
They're both different guns. They have different pros and cons to them. And by that I mean, if you're more of the person that kind of likes getting in the face of the other team and trying to go for, like, say, 5 kills and such, I'd recommend the M4. A4, just because it has more bullets. If you're more like you want to play long from platform and you want to pop out and get better headshots and such, the M4A1. A lot of players will go for the M4A1 now just because they like the extra little accuracy, and plus you can't hear it. The only downside to it is you only have, 60 bullets?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing with how the CZ was. If you're going to try and kill the whole entire team, you better have really, really good crosshair placement, just because those 20 bullets go very quick when you're laying it out. I personally prefer the M4A4, but that's just because I like getting in the face of the other team, and I try to kill them, the entire team, before they even touch the other team, or my teammates, I should say.
Okay.
But like I said, if you're better with the crosshair placement and you're better at getting the headshots, then definitely the M4A1, just because it's pretty much bullet on top of bullet for the first 3 shots. Kind of reminds me of the FAMAS.
What annoying. What'd I do? Okay, and then another question was discussing the Tech 9 Scout CZ, and would you prefer a P2000 or a what was the other one? P2000, or what's the other starting one?
Glock?
Is that the 2 starting?
Or the USP?
Which one starts on CT? USP and P2000?
You got the P2000 and the USPS, yeah. Again, I prefer the one with more ammo, that's the P2000. USPS is good because, for one, it's silenced. There's really no difference between the two. They do the same amount of damage. The USPS has 1 less bullet in the magazine and has a hell of a lot less bullets in the reserve. I think you only get 36 bullets altogether. Where the P2000, you have somewhere around 60-something, or yeah, 60-something. It does the same amount of damage. You have 1 extra bullet, and you can rock it all day. They kind of have the same recoil pattern, so I prefer the P2000.
Okay, and then what do you think about the Tech 9 and Scout, and what was the other one?
If you're fooling around and you're having fun, then yeah, you can use the different weapons. But if you want to play competitively, usually you just stick to the main weapons that are there. I know Valve or Volvo, they're trying to make it so all the weapons have the same kind of appeal to them. But if you're going to spend the money on a Scout, you're better off saving up for the AWP, or you're better off using like a FAMAS or a Galil. But even then, usually it's just better off to do a full team save. I mean, this is different when you're in matchmaking and you don't have good coordination with the other people that are solo queuing. But for yourself, if you want to save up and get the AWP, you're much better with the AWP than the Scout. And the Tech 9, don't even go near it. Pre-update Tech 9, it was amazing, but that got fixed really quick.
Okay. Never take the silencer off, the USP if you use it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason to take your silencer off of either one of the guns. A lot of people say they get better recoil, they like the sound more. There's no reason to it. One of the main things with the silencer is it's more quiet, and you're basically just removing that advantage you have for less bullets.
What's the best crosshair, people are asking? I think that's personal preference, right?
Absolutely, it's personal preference. I often change my crosshair, probably 4 or 5 times a month. As long as you can, I'll basically help you out with it. As long as you can see an opponent when from a far distance. So see here, come over here long. If you can see somebody's head, so I don't know what kind of crosshair you use. Basically mine looks like the default, except I can see it on white surfaces. I have the outlight on, and I have about a +1 gap to it. So the big thing with crosshairs is sometimes people have a very thick crosshair. But say if my head's right here, right, you can see my head right now, right? If you have a thick crosshair, can you see my head now?
I guess
All
I can. I can't see. That's okay. Go ahead with the crosshair. I'll talk to you about this after.
There you go. So if you're lined up on my head right now, if I came up and I was slightly to the right here, if you had a thick crosshair, you actually wouldn't see me. I could see you clear as day, but you wouldn't see me just because the crosshair is in the way. So again, it comes down to personal preference. If you like taking on guys at long range, I recommend a very thin and small little crosshair. Some people don't like it because when they're moving very fast, they lose their crosshair. It's much easier to have a very thick crosshair and move around quickly than it is to have a very small crosshair. Some people even use little tiny dots. What they do is they turn on the center dot, and then they turn on their gap so big that there's no crosshair to it, just a little dot. Kind of like how Grand Theft Auto 5 is. Just that one little dot.
Let's see here.
I will say that actually makes a big difference. It depends really if you have a nice big beefy computer, but it doesn't matter how good your computer is. If you play on the absolute lowest settings, you just get a better performance from Counter-Strike. That doesn't mean that you see people better, it doesn't mean that your gun fires faster, it's just your computer has to do less things, so therefore it can input more. No, I shouldn't even say that it can input more, it's just, again, it's personal preference, but if you play at a very low setting, it usually works out better for you, especially if you have an older computer. Like I'm playing on a computer that's like 7 years old or something. I got an 8800 GTS. I have an i920, some Intel thing, and 6 of RAM. I usually get about 280 FPS right now, and I'm playing at the absolute lowest settings, and it works out very well for me. Only thing is all the gun skins look ugly as shit.
Yeah. Now here's my question to you. What up, Brexit?
Yep.
Brexit in the house, y'all. Alright, so now if you're like you were, you're down here in Long, I have a hard time seeing you. Just seeing you in general. And it's not a matter of my crosshair. My crosshair is super thin. Like I can see you fine with your
resolution you're playing on.
1920 by 1080.
Yeah, that's the same as me too. How turned up is your brightness? I should say. How high is your brightness? Because usually you want to crank that up as high as you can.
Can you still hear me? No, you can't. Okay. Oh, I brightness disabled right now. I'm in Windows mode, full screen.
Oh, I got you. So what it's doing is it's using the brightness and gamma off of your display, basically. Like
No,
I mean,
I don't want a
it's
low
a little
resolution.
difficult for me to see somebody down there too. But if I turn my brightness up, I think I play with the highest brightness. It makes it a lot easier to see the person. Just with Counter-Strike being the way it is, it's kind of foggy at long distances, and it makes it harder to see. But if you're looking at that down there all day long, when you're playing the game as much as me and you play it, when you actually have somebody in there and their head pops up, it kind of stands out to you. It makes it still a difficult shot, especially with your crosshair if it's a bigger crosshair. But a lot of it plays into luck too. You gotta hope the guy goes into your crosshair. If you have a big problem with it, I'd say just don't even engage the person in there. Unless you got an op, just come off to the side and just wait for him to peek out. Because you gotta remember, he's gotta come to you, right? Unless you're the terrorist and he's got the bomb down there, then you kinda gotta metagame him a little bit, throw some flashbangs on him. But it's just a limitation of Counter-Strike. Short story, limitation of Counter-Strike. Oh, okay, we'll go into this too. To go back into stutter stepping with your firearms and such. When you're on pistol rounds, almost always better just to tap it and line up your shot. You never want to spam. You never want to run and spam.
So what you're saying is don't do what I do.
Yeah, don't flip shit. Don't go shit
I got
like
it.
that.
I got it. I got it.
If you're over here and you hear them coming, just wait, line up your shot. I mean, it comes with practice too, just knowing how high you got to set your crosshair and such. But what you want to do is they're already moving, so it's already going to be more difficult for them to hit you than it is for you to hit them. So if you're lined up here and you're waiting for this guy to run across, give yourself a little bit of space, or say right here. I'm not going to be aiming right here, I'm going to be aiming more over here. It depends on how quick your reactions are. Only you really know how quick your reactions are. But don't think you're something special if you don't have the reactions. Like, it's much more impressive if if you're lined up with this wall and you put your crosshair out here and the person runs into it and you headshot him, rather than put your crosshair right beside him and he runs past and you miss all those bullets and it's all over. Get used to how you play and it works out for you. So if I was playing here and I have my crosshair out and the person runs out, you just basically just go tap, 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 tap.
Here I come. Here I come.
Rather, yep. Oh, we got a little bit of lag here. That didn't work out very well at all. But that's what I'm trying to show you here. Is you just kind of take the time and aim at the person. Yeah, it's like you're in front of the bullets where you are.
Damn you! Gotta work on that myself.
But I see a lot of people, what they'll do is, say they miss their first shot or so, that's when they start flipping out. They'll start spraying after their first shot, and then they start moving and spraying. Even if you miss the first shot, just kind of keep yourself calm and realign your position, and just keep going. Nice. Because basically what it is when you're spraying, you're not letting your firearm reset its recoil control. See, that's even too fast. Like, I usually like to shoot this, if I'm ever using the UPS, you shoot it like a Desert Eagle would. Just tap, tap, tap. If you ever watch one of those people that do like a huge ace of 5 aces, or 5 kills, I'm getting tired, you can tell. They do the same kind of thing. I love seeing when people play over here at cars, people run out and they just go tap, 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 and they rock people. And it's because they stay nice and calm, they line up their shot, and they make them count.
Okay. Cool.
Let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, this is huge.
Got a huge one.
It doesn't matter where you are, if
Shit,
somebody's
shit.
crossed up with an op, and you throw the smoke, what a lot of people do is as soon as it pops, the person will cross. 9 times out of 10, that op's gonna fire in that smoke, and he might even hit you. Whenever you're crossing and you know an opper's watching you, throw a smoke down, wait for it to pop, and wait for them to fire. If they don't fire after a second, you're pretty much go, but always wait that special little bit. Same thing with somebody sitting there with an M4 or an AK.
What's up, Relum? What's up, bro?
You can even hear it, you can kind of count how many shots they're doing, so then you can cross afterward. It sucks when you throw a smoke, you take all that time and effort to throw a smoke, and then you cross and get shot. It just doesn't work out for you. But like I said, if you're starting here, you're way better off to do this smoke. The one that bounces off of this.
I will look you up, dude.
Just
From the
because
edge.
you're not waiting at all and you can get to the site quicker. Let's see what else we got here.
You have
Try to
knives
stay
still?
in unpredictable places, especially if you're a terrorist. So you take any bomb site really. Don't play in the same spots that other people have been playing. Say you're coming into B and there's an opera behind there, and you take that opera out and then you plant the bomb, yada yada yada. Don't play in the same spot that he was playing. Because 9 times out of 10 he'll be telling his teammate where to look. He'll
If
be
you
like, oh, he might
build
be
it,
here, or he might be there.
nerds
Or the
will
person
come.
just might know. Like I
Thanks,
love to
Des, for
play
the follow. Welcome to the
crazy
stream.
spots. Like I like to play here. Sometimes if it's 1v1, I'll be out right in the middle of the open too. Like I'll be right here. It's just because you want to kind of metagame your opponent. If they're going to clear the site, they'll be looking at all the kind of regular places. They'll be looking, say, back of plat. They'll be looking right here. They'll check out car. They'll check up here. They'll check out gay spot. So if you play a crazy little position that they usually won't check, then like right here, it would be a sick position. If I know the guy's in tunnel, I'd play here. I have absolutely no cover, but on the flip side too, I know he's going to be coming, I can get the first shot off, and he'll have no cover either. The only cover he'll have is this right here. But then if you do the same thing that I showed you, just being in a different location every time he pops out, you can slowly just work around
Watch
that.
a couple more of those weird spots.
Well, I just make them up as I go along, really. If this is a normal spot for somebody to play, just play a more odd spot. Something that their crosshair placement won't be on. Because if I clear in this site, to put it into my perspective, if I'm clearing the site and I check, okay, it's not a platform, the next part I'm going to go is over here
Hang on,
to
the
the
sweets.
site. If he's not there, the next spot is either going to be up here or it's going to be up here. So my crosshair isn't going to be set up for anybody in this vicinity, anywhere in here. So
What about door? You don't clear door?
if there's if the terrorist plants a bomb, usually they're not outside of door.